got
you
a
ever hear
copy.
when you went to New York, though? I mean, when you heard DJs play, would you remember anybody you heard in New York that was influential on you?
Oh God, all of them,
Yeah.
all of them. And
Yeah.
they were all in Judy Weinstein's record pool.
Right.
And I could not believe the people that I met
Yeah.
down there.
Yeah. So you met Larry Levan, you met all those guys.
Everybody.
Yeah.
That was anybody per se.
David Mancuso.
Yeah, I mean, even the writers from Billboard, Barry Letterer,
Yeah.
you know, Mel Sherin, Mel Sherin,
Mel,
good,
yeah.
God rest his
God rest his
soul.
soul, yeah.
I mean, he was my friend.
Yeah.
Every time he came to Boston, he always came to
Yeah.
visit me, and
Yeah.
we would go out dancing
Right.
for the entire weekend.
Yeah.
And when he started West End Records, and then, you know, him and his lover, I believe his name is Michael, you know, started the
Yeah,
Paradise
sure.
Garage. Oh boy, I'm telling you what.
That was a special place, huh?
Oh, you could walk into the sound system. I never heard a sound system like the Paradise Garage.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we should probably talk about a little bit about, you were at the Land of Oz for a little while.
I was there for a little while until the police closed the club.
Okay.
Okay, so we all spread out. And then
But before you go any further, I just want to know, what was it like at Land of Oz? Like, that's where you really got your first experience playing for people.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was that like?
it was fantastic.
Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Getting that reaction from the crowd.
Yeah.
But did you feel like you were a natural? Like, did you feel like you, from all your years of listening and paying attention to the music, like, what made you realize that you could channel all that energy onto a dance floor?
I loved the music that was coming out. Every song from Motown, Philly, to everything that followed it.
Mhm.
Everything was a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was a hit.
Yeah.
And then you have the radio jocks like Sonny Joe
Mhm.
White and Vinnie Peruzzi, Ron Robin,
Mm-hmm.
John Luongo.
Right.
They had, you know, little segments on their radio stations, and you know, that started to become, you know, everybody would, you know, be in their cars listening before we would, you know, go into work, because we wanted to know what new
What
songs.
people were hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And-
And the polarity was kind of reversed to some degree then, meaning that you would hear songs in the club, or Sonny or somebody would hear a song in the club, and they would put it on the radio, so the radio would help break songs that were actually had their origins in the club,
Right.
which was not how it happens now. You go to a club now and people want to hear what they've already heard on the radio 100
Yeah,
times.
it's completely different, and I promise I'm not going to badmouth
Okay.
anybody or anything, because I mean, it's not right. It's wrong. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, there's always going to be a future, and whatever
Right.
is anybody is
Yeah, no, I
into-
don't want to encourage that. I'm just,
No,
yeah.
I'm not into that.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not into that at all.
I got you.
I just enjoyed. I am glad I was born when I was born.
Yeah.
Okay, because it was the first. The baby boomers were the first to experience everything, whether good or bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we never had FM radio. I remember the first time I listened, I just turned the dial, and it was WBCN in Boston. The song was Born on the Bayou by Creedence Clearwater, and it went on forever, and I'm there, what is this station?
Yeah.
And I'm calling up everybody that I know. I says, put your radio on to 104. I'm
Yeah.
sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but
That's all right.
104.7, I think.
Yeah.
And I said, you know, the way we were always the first when the trends
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
Okay, and
So you really enjoyed playing for people at Oz like
Oh.
that. You got your feet wet there. You learned a lot there.
Yeah.
Did you find it was a learning curve for you though too? I mean-
always,
Yeah.
always. But I'll tell you where I learned the most was when I worked for the Lions Group, who were the owners of the Boston complex. They had when they would renovate, they would have so many name changes, but I'm just going to refer to them as Boston. And Jeff Tilton and Wendy Hunt were the DJs of the club. And Wendy, along with Jeff, helped me get in there for straight nights.
Right.
Okay, or the odd nights, not the weekend nights.
Right. But this was the next thing after Land of Oz was Boston for you?
I skipped.
What did you skip?
I skipped, there was a straight club down in Randolph called Sadie's.
Okay. How long were you there, do you remember?
I think I was there for about 2 years.
Okay. So a good run there.
Yeah. Tony Porter came down to visit me. I remember that.
Okay.
And back then, the music was the same, like at the 1270 and at Sadie's,
Yeah.
gay, straight,
Yeah.
black, Asian, whatever.
Stephen Burke talks about this because he played at Faces for such
That's
a long
right.
time.
That's right.
That you could play gay music at a straight place because there wasn't really much of a distinction.
Right. Stephen is correct.
Yeah, not much of one, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, although gay clubs still served a different function for people who needed socializing and meet each other at a time when you didn't have the internet and all that stuff. It was
Sure.
where you went.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
To meet people like you.
Right.
Yeah. So you're at Sadie's for a couple of years, and
Trying to remember. Okay. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, we'll come back to it.
Land of Oz, Sadie's. Oh, Chaps.
Yeah.
On Blagden Street, which was the back door, not the Huntington Avenue side, which was the front door.
Right.
Okay. They were thinking of opening up a dance club, breaking down the walls between a club called Chaps, which was a cruise bar, a men's cruise bar, and Sticks, which was an actual small dance club, and they did that. And I asked if they needed another DJ besides Danae. And the woman who was sort of like the manager, Harry Anthony and his brothers managed the club at the time, but she was also involved. Her name was Susan Egan. And there was a rumor going around that, she didn't like women at all. I says, oh, who fucking cares, to myself. I'm just going to go up and introduce myself and ask her,
Yeah.
do you need
Right.
someone,
Yeah.
So I went up and, she was very cold towards me. That was just her way, I guess. And I said, listen, I says, let me audition for you anyway. I mean, you might be impressed and everything. I says, why do you think women should just be in women's clubs?
Right.
I says, I know you hate, the rumor is that you hate women. And, she gave me the high sign like, yeah, you better believe I hate you while you're here. But she gave me a chance to
Yeah.
audition.
Yeah.
And I auditioned.
Yeah.
And, a week later, I got Tuesday and Thursday nights at Chaps in 1978.
Okay.
Yes, 1978.
And this is still before Boston, or is that?
Yeah, it was.
So you
it
actually,
was.
okay. So I'm this is new for me in a sense because I've never known your chronology of like where you worked. So you were at Chaps for a little while, Boston, and then you made your way back to Chaps, but we have the 12 in between and all that too.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I just want to be sure that we try to keep some idea.
All right, yes.
So you were at Chaps for, how was that? And were you good friends with Danae already by then, right?
He was good friends with me.
Yeah.
We had a 35-year friendship.
Yeah.
Professionally speaking, musically speaking, I mean, we were out in public on our nights off and probably gave people the wrong idea because we were always together.
Yeah.
And I respected him tremendously for what I learned from him. And I think we should leave it like that.
Okay.
But it was a long, hard relationship, and only he took his to his grave, and it is in my heart and soul, and it's not going to be shared
Yeah.
with anyone else.
Yeah. No.
But it was basically a professional musical relationship with ups and downs.
Sure. Like most
Love, hate.
relationships.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure. So you worked there for how long before you went to Boston at Chaps?
Okay, all right. First of all, I remember Chaps was ending their renovation, okay, and the sound man, Luke Feldman, came in, and he had a resume about this thick, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and he made sure that you saw it. And, you know, we always sort of, you know, sort of acted like him behind his back, like,
Mhm.
theoretically speaking,
Mhm.
okay, he would tell us the whys and hows and whatevers.
But he was good at what he did.
Oh,
right?
he was very good at
Yeah.
what he did,
Yeah.
and he did it quickly,
Because his
too.
name's come up a few times too. Yeah.
Okay.
As being
He-
a key person at the
He
12 as well.
was,
Yeah.
yes, yes. And he was there. It was a Thursday night in September, and he was putting the finishing touches on the sound. Okay, I just happened to be putting my records in the containers, and he was fidgeting around, and you know, you could hear people in the other area because they had black drapery that closed off half of the room, and before you knew it, somebody just happened to open the curtain, and the people just flooded in from the room. And I remember Harry Anthony coming up to me and say, "Would you just play music?" I says, "Yeah, I have all my records here." And Chaps was a hit overnight.
Right.
Okay. Well, Miss Day and I did not like the idea that that had happened.
Mhm.
And I said, I had no part of it. I mean,
Mm.
you know, Harry is the boss, and he asked me, you know, and how they made it up to him is that they had a grand opening party the following month
Mhm.
in October, and Day and I, you know, it was his supposed club.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was fine with that.
Now, in a more general sense, I think this comes up a few times too with DJs then, and it still happens now, where you know club owners and managers would try to pit DJs against each other by doing little things, by giving them certain things or giving them special promotion or taking a shift away from them and giving it to somebody else.
Oh,
or
they were all sleazebags.
doing all that kind of stuff because it fed on DJs' insecurities, right, or on their egos or whatever.
Basically
to do that.
egos.
Yeah.
Basically egos. Some DJs, to me, I felt were legends in their own minds.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it
But
feels like it
you-
goes with the territory, kind of, though, doesn't it? You have to have a certain amount of ego to sort of want to stand up there in front of a room full of strangers and say, "This is what I think is good, and this is how I think you should hear it."
Yeah, I never.
You never saw it that way.
No, I never did it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was just excited about the music.
Yeah.
That's all I was in. I wasn't in there for a popularity contest.
Yeah.
I never wanted anybody in the booth.
Right.
Okay? Because I was planning an hour ahead of time at all times. Okay? And both the 1270 and Chaps had 3 turntables in the booth, and I used all 3 of them at all times.
Yeah. So you needed to be focused.
I had to be focused.
Yeah.
That's the kind of person I am. And I'm not putting anyone down if they want to have, you know, a
Sure.
mob scene in their booth. That's their,
Right.
you know, prerogative, but I was not that way.
Right.
And to answer your question, yes, bar managers would try to pit people against other people, but, you know, only the strong survive.
Yeah.